Hello, welcome in and welcome back to 1212 Heartbreak and Love Tarot. My name is Angie and I appreciate you stopping in and allowing me to read for you. Thank you for joining me for this general love message. We're going to get into it with the 1212 makeshift deck. Shuffle it a little bit. Heavenly Creator, bless this video and bless the collective as well as myself with a truthful and resonating message. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's see what the energy of this love message is for the collective. What does the collective need to know regarding love? What's the love message? That's a big stack, but I will take this one. We have heart coming out. First card is heart. Okay. What about it? What does heart have to do with the general love message for the collective and spark? Okay. All right. Heart and spark coming out. What is that? Divine time. Wow. Okay. All right. What is the general love message for the collective? Please and thank you. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is that turning up? My toxic ways ruin this connection. Oh, goodness. All right. So we got somebody here, look at regret. In regret. Because they toxicity ruined a beautiful connection. I got where, that spark could be your energy there. It could, have to do with the purity of your heart and just what's beautiful and innocent love energy. What else? Yeah, unfulfilled. Yeah. Unfulfilled. Yeah. They were toxic while somebody in my collective was, just pouring out. Oh man, such beautiful energy. You tried. That's how I got it. You tried with this person. We'll be fine turned up with that. I'm gonna take it, because again, they know that their toxicity has ruined this, connection. I'm getting where the person on your mind here can feel that, they're the reason things aren't the same. There's still either a connection, love, communication, something that exists with you and this person. You have a heart, you haven't completely walked away from whoever this is, but it's unfulfilling as far as maybe trying to, be with this person. Maybe you've walked away from that completely and are not interested, and that's, you're all they think of. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And now, you're on their mind constantly. You're all that they can think of. And, oh, man. Yeah, I almost got obsessive energy. Now it's them wanting to hang out or them calling or them, just being what is maybe a bit excessive because they realize that you're no longer interested in the way that you were. Yeah, my heart chakra was blocked, right? See, they had a blockage or have a blockage based on where they are on the journey of the cards. And, now that they possibly had this awareness moment, that spark could stand for that too. Their awareness moment. Think of a burst, of knowledge, awareness, an awakening, anything like that. Off of that spark card is what I got when I made that card. But it's literally like gone off for them like a light bulb, that the reason that you're different with them, the reason that the conversation has changed or maybe lessened down to, is because of their toxicity. It's because of them. Yeah, that's why that's all they can do is think about this and think about you. And yeah, what else? What else? What's the energy of the love message? What's the collective need to know? What is this? Too big of a stack. All right, I'm gonna raffle through one more time and then we're gonna get some oracle cards and go further into this, because yeah, this is a someone here showing up with some regret. They missed what was the divine connection. It was the divine giving them and handing them this beautiful energy, and they missed it. What else does a collective need to see and know regarding this connection, please? And they regret that shit. Please and thank you. All right. Trust. Yeah. What did I say? They know you don't trust them the same. Yeah, things will never be the same. Messy third party. Yeah, gossip, drama, and lies. Yeah, because they was messy. They were messy, or even allow third parties to interfere in y'all's connection and keep, just keep shit up. Oh my God, I've never met anyone like you. I love it. Yeah. That's what it is. They had never met anyone like you. Love this energy. Love this. Love was how I got it for whoever this is. And this is your ex. I'm going to keep that. I've never met anyone like you. And everything was beautiful. And for some reason, they allowed third parties to interfere here. Messiness and drama, toxicity, and shit like that to ruin it. To ruin the trust that you had for them, collective. That's why things are different. That's why y'all don't talk no more. You again have walked away from them. But there's a lot here about, somebody in my collective having what was this heart to love this individual, or maybe you were loving this individual, in love with them, and they ruined it. They destroyed the trust, want to do all this bullshit, gossip, have drama, put you in third parties and competitions, and now all of a sudden, for some reason, because of whatever this spark of enlightenment is, I'm telling you, this light bulb for them, now they realize that, they're the reason that the connection has been ruined. Yeah, just completely destroyed. Let me get some oracle cards. 1212, heartbreak and love tarot. Let me grab some oracle cards. Let's do the broken mirror oracles. Yeah, let's find out. I mean, it's all their fault. That's how I'm hearing it. You tried was what I got when I was originally shuffling, to give this. You might have repeated a cycle with this person, giving them multiple chances. But I got where, you really, out of the high vibrational energy of yours, you highlighted so much of this dark and drama, toxic, light, and you was just like, whoa, no. And they couldn't see it then. They was blocked. Somebody's person's heart chakra was blocked. Still some type of perspective change, awareness change, something like that they have. But now they're having it all of a sudden, and just have you on their mind heavily. Like somebody's person I got is in regretful energy, missing you energy, things like that, because they've realized that, they ruined what was a divinely timed connection and just messed everything up here, destroyed the trust you had for them. What else regarding this connection does the collective need to see and know at this time? Yeah, man, they're in deep regret. They never met nobody like you, and now they can't find anybody like you. They have run around from third party to in and out of connections, whatever, and this person is miserable. What else? What does the collective need to see and know regarding this person and this connection at this time? Opposites attract. Lessons. Not your usual type. Different spiritual beliefs. See what I'm saying? I know somebody in my collective gave this person a chance. Like, they weren't even your type. Or they weren't even, this was literally, truly opposites attract. And they were not, or maybe, you weren't that type. It was something different about it. And they let, again, what were family members, distractions, drama. Just rip it apart. It was a genuine attraction. It really was. Opposites attract. It was a genuine attraction, but there is also, or was also, a lesson attached to this about your person, learning maybe to stand on their own and not always listen to these third parties. Something about that. Yeah, the spiritual beliefs. Yeah, not letting their mother or their family influence who they're with. what they have romantically and as a partner in life. Yeah, this person loved you, and you again were different. That's what it is. You were different, spiritually, religiously. There were lessons that's coming through that you had learned in life that this person had yet to learn. And this person just let all of that different shit. Look, broken mirrors destroy it. Addictions, roller coasters, and toxicity. They let those habits destroy a divine connection. And now they're realizing it. Now that you're again no longer interested. Somebody in my collective, you could have done a cord cutting. That could have been what was that energetic burst of awareness, that light bulb moment, something like that. I just picked up on, but yeah, that toxic ass roller coaster is what costed them a true divine connection here. What else? Thinking of you. It's here twice. Thinking of you is here twice, but you living in this person's head. I'm telling you, they can't. It's because of this spark. Look how they looking up in the sky. It's because of whatever this was that opened up this person's perspective. I do feel like it has to do with your lack of interest. Again, maybe lack of communication. You're no longer talking. I got where someone is still talking, but the vibe is completely different. The conversation has changed. And I recently picked up where someone in my collective did a full-blown cord cutting. Any of those things have triggered this. It has triggered these episodes of deep thought. Look at that card, crying and nostalgia. Deep thought, emotional roller coasters for them now. Times of just being succumbed with emotions about what they did, what they lost, and how they miss you. You see that? Missing you, thinking of you, in regret energy, man. This person is sad. Yeah. But they did it. That was what I got from the beginning. They did it. They let other people influence them and shit, that addictions and shit that just wasn't even important. Yeah. What else? They did it. What else? Now they crying, sitting around, can't think of being childish. Yeah. Their immaturity was the reason. Childish, immature, argumentative, and playing the victim. Immaturity, man. Not taking accountability. This is all. That's why they crying. That's why when it goes through their mind, you see this person's eyes is bound or covered. When these thoughts run through the person on your mind, when it runs through their mind, that's what makes them, get teary-eyed and emotional, is because they realize, while they were being argumentative, you were right, whatever that point was, about them lying or about them trying to, I don't damn know, put you in a third party, and about their family, man, their mother and her opinion of you, or father, 12-12, heartbreak and love tell road, their family's opinion of you. They realizing that you were right. They was immature. Or they would just wanted to argue, trying to defend people that didn't have their best interest at heart. Yeah, man. But listen, they know. Somebody, I'm telling you, this regretful person, this sad person, they feel like y'all have unfinished business. They know they should have proposed to you. Somebody here in my collective. You were their person. This was a divine connection. And they let just mess and BS ruin it. They pray that you'll have some forgiveness in your heart for them. But no, it's no contact for somebody. Ooh, that's why they sad, boy, and sick. No contact. Block, silent treatment, cut off all communication. Somebody in my collective, your cutoff game is strong. And it's got this, that's what it was. That's what it was. You cutting them completely off. Now, I've picked up on different variations based on where you are on the journey of the cards, but this specifically says no contact. Somebody in my collective, yeah, the person that you are currently in no contact with, that you finally, accepted who they are. And I got where you're riding on your strength. You love this person. You showed them love. And this, energy of yours, healing. We talking about somebody, they never met somebody like you. 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 And taking that energy away, man, it's got this person so triggered and so stressed and so emotional and in so much regret and questioning their damn actions and they self and their life decisions. And man, they did it. They did it. Yeah. Ruining your trust and breaking your heart for somebody here in my collective. They did it. And then now it's just got them. It's got them stressed. I'm telling you, that's who's calling your phone. Playing on your phone. Playing in your social media direct messages, your DMs and private messages. Stuff you don't recognize. That's what that is. Unknown caller. Stalking, hanging up. That's who that is. That's who this is. Playing on your phone. I'm just telling you. Because you living in their head rent free. They can't sleep. Somebody's person can't sleep and can't eat. They crying at night. Or whenever they alone. Or again, whenever they get in deep thought and it's succumbed by emotions. I'm telling you. Look, controversy. They cannot sleep. They cannot eat. Somebody's person. This shit has got them on the brink. Losing you has got them on the brink. It says controversy, drama, scandal, and the truth is coming out. Yeah. The truth of them being the reason that they no longer have access to you, that you're no longer speaking to them. Look, infatuation, denial, obsession, and attraction. And it's only just, oh man, it's just feeding. It's just feeding these things in this person. You know, the attraction, it just makes them want you even more. Makes that attraction even stronger now that you have these boundaries. And now that you're this strong, like that. I know how it sounds. I know, but it's you know, that self-love, man, is making you more attractive. That's why this person can't keep you off their mind. And it's just, oh my goodness, so emotional. It just tore up. You know, while you could be trying to get back out there, you know, talking to someone new, because you completely cut off contact with whoever that is. So, you know, that's that's making them even madder, and you know, putting them even deeper in their emotions for somebody. You know, that's what's making them watch your social medias and oh man, that's what's driving this, you know, awareness moment. Yeah. For somebody's person. Yeah, they wish they would have never, you know, kept up them arguments and fights, man, and lied and shit, man. That somebody's person was detached and had them in a one-sided relationship. This person has so much regrets. So much regret, man. They miss you. Again, reminiscing, nostalgia. Missing you was here so many times. They are sick. This person is sick. Let's get into this tarot. 12-12. Heartbreak and love tarot. Yeah. You know, some of the third parties that was being messy could be like not helping. You know, this person has nobody to cry out to talk to about this. You know what I mean? There's nobody to vent to or to be on their side with this. Nah, the people that they talking to that was all with the shits, they telling them you was immature. You did play, you know, a little too close to the line, and you know, you crossed the line with this person. You know, they was on that shit when when your person was you know, shut off, blocked, and underdeveloped. And now that your person is coming into this awareness and all that, they standing around saying, oh, they like your person should have known to make the right choice here. Love is on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So that's adding even more like coals on your person's head. For I'm telling you, they not happy. This person's not happy that you know, they destroy again this divine connection. The person that was sent to them for them by the universe, by spirit, to realize it afterwards. Man, they traumatized. This person will never be the same. Never be the same, whether you take them back or not, because of the awareness, the perspective change, that spark that had to happen. Opposites attract. Clarify opposites attract, please and thank you. Lessons, not your usual type, and different spiritual beliefs. Yeah, the Justice card. Libra, the scales. Yeah, there was something that was not, you know, I'm not going to say in alignment, but it didn't match, you know, when it came to the way that you two were. Well, again, whether it was religiously, whether it was life experience, money, whatever it was, that along with this interference and opinion of these others, this third party bullshit they wanted to try to do, I'm telling you, that just it oh man, I'm telling you, it's like it was all the perfect recipe for this person to lose you. You understand what I'm saying? Them just being driven by all the wrong things here. You know, these were clear differences though. With the justice card, it's something there about clear differences. Well, this is somebody, I don't know, maybe they were white collar, 7, 8, 9 figures, and you were blue. 5 figures. You know what I mean? Just very like, it's something like that. And this person, again, along with BS influence, like it made them play you soft, like count you out, or want to continue to strive like they could find better. Nah, that you were their person, they were supposed to commit and all of that, right? There was no finding better. That's what's wrong with this person. The Hermit card, Taurus energy, Virgo energy. That's why they're being driven into this self-awareness, kind of looking into the mirror. That's why they're being left alone, period. Spirit got them here now. This is divinely orchestrated. Again, I got where it was the perfect recipe for the person on your mind to have all of these just warped kind of ideals about how life and love and even religion and money stuff went, and for you to come along and just blow all of that shit out of the water, because they did love you despite you not fitting whatever these boxes to be checked off. They did love you, and you loved them unconditionally, genuinely. You were authentic and truthful. All of these things that, I don't know, I guess they had been taught that if a person didn't come, I don't know, match their income, then they couldn't be loved. I don't know what it was. It could be body figures, type, I mean anything, y'all. Yeah, getting wrapped up on that is the reason they spirit got them over there alone, doing their self-work, realizing how immature and just on that BS they were. Yeah, the Queen of Wands over this broken mirrors addiction. Yeah, wanting to be the person that was in control here. It Queen of Wands, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius is very strong and energetic queen, but I'm getting a lot of controlling energy off of her there. Over that broken mirrors and this emotional roller coaster, and them almost fighting against you at times. So strong-willed. That's what it is. That's what it is coming off of that queen. That, them so strong-willed on their addictions and, their preferences and their, rules. And they fucking checklist or whatever. Yeah. They believed in that and they thought that was right. And I'm telling you, it completely blew this out of the water. That is all the type of perspectives and just awareness, the different stuff, man. This person is looking into the mirror and the well of their soul and seeing that they're the reason you went no contact with them. Queen of Cups, that you chose to, love yourself, that you chose to walk away with tranquility. Here, somebody I got, oh my goodness, this was a silent exit. This was, and for somebody else, you poured out. You poured out all your feelings. You put it out on the table. You told this person what it was, and then you went no contact. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, man. While they, tried to lead again in what was willpower, might, and strength, and controlling the situation, you led in what was love, understanding, peace, and I'm telling you, that's why. You had to cut off communication for somebody here. That's why. They didn't leave you a choice. Again, with that very stubborn and just almost bearing down on the connection type of energy coming off that Queen of Wands energy, you didn't have a choice, male or female. Take it how it resonates. 12-12, heartbreak and love tarot. But that's the reason you went no contact. And now there's no question that the sadness that they feel, that the crying that they're doing, and is because of their actions. They don't even have to. That's what I'm saying. It's made so clear. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. There's no question about it. There's no back and forth in their mind. They know exactly what they did. They know exactly what caused you, again, to go no communication. And it has them upset. It's got somebody triggered. It has somebody being driven into hermit mode. It has somebody being driven into shadow work, ego deaths. I'm telling you, collective, them coming into contact with your energy, it was divine time. It was. It is. You know, what is a soulmate connection? They just ruined it. The person on your mind fucked it up. They did. They messed it up, man. They did. And because they can no longer run from themselves is how I'm getting it. You know, again, everywhere they turn, people now are telling them the truth. Even these, you know, people that lied and played with them and, you know, amp them on with the BS on that third party shit, drama. Amp them on with the lies, help them lie to you and cover up. Even them. Now they seeing them in this state and they having to look them in the face and tell them the truth. You never should have done the collective like that. The collective, you know, was just trying to, you know, love you. That was somebody that really loved you, dog. Or bruh, or sis. You know, you shouldn't have never took and showed your ass, you know, on that man or that woman. That was who was really there for you. That was who kept showing up, you know, despite you being just a dumb ass, you know, you being immature, you know, leaving them on red, you know, days at a time. And they still showed up with the same energy of love and open arms. And you know, now these the conversations that they're getting from them people. Man, this is it's messing them up. It's messing them up. They feel like they can't, again, open up to anybody because, you know, people just want to stick them where it hurts. You know, it's that victim mentality off of that energy. You know, this person ain't as social as they was. They family, friends, everybody can see that, you know, they going through it. Yeah, King of Swords in the reverse. Everybody can see that they're going through it. Gemini leaving Aquarius. Yep, because they lied. Because they weren't truthful. I mean, because they lied because they weren't truthful. Because they lied because they were immature. Because they wanted to play games and you know, not take what was clear. You know, you were a clear improvement, a clear life partner. It was clear love. It was clear. I'm getting it where, you know, things were so clear for this person. And you know, you laid it all out. Again, open heart here, open arms. Just, you really tried. You really tried, but you know, they had to, you know, because it is a divine connection, because it is all according to divine time, based on where you and your person are on the journey of these cards. You know, this experience is divine as well. You know, does that mean that it always feels pleasant? No, but there is always, you know, growth, healing, learning a lesson. There's always some benefits, you know, on the other side. And right now it's not pleasant for whoever your person is. It's not. You know, I got where you are still, because that's just my collective's energy of this peace, love, like kind of, you know, you know, you were able to move forward in that. You know, you're not mad at this person. You don't hate this person. You just are in no contact or non-responsive and things like that out of, you know, self-love boundaries and to stay safe. You know, it ain't out of resentment or, again, anger or something like that. No, it's, you know, it's just the way that it has to be right now. Is how I'm hearing it. 1212, Heartbreaking Love Tarot. So let's get some no communication messages, huh? Since you got them in no, you know, they blocked. They ain't got no way to reach out. You know, they may be, because I got that unknown callers and that energy. So they could, you know, have a way to be creating other numbers and coming through. Y'all, this is 2026. People can create other accounts and different stuff and still come through. If there are third party friends, family, mutual friends, family, stuff like that, people will find a way. when they trying to keep up now. Okay, but as far as you in direct contact, or being in that communication like y'all used to, nah, my collective is done with that. This person, took it there, and so you did what you had to do. Let's get some no contact or no communication messages. Ooh, I am enjoying this message. If you are, you know what to do. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what resonates down below. I always enjoy that. Thank you, and thank you. No communication oracle. Let's do it. Yeah, 1212, heartbreak and love tarot. Yeah, it's just that they, are here, and some of them, again, in that hermit energy, this controversial, all upset, crying, thinking about you. Man, ooh, I got ego deaths and emotional awakening. Somebody heart chakra had to be unblocked. Whew. Lessons. All right. Let's see what this person that the collective is in no contact or very little to no communicative or contact with. What does this person really and truly want to say and need to say to the collective? Please and thank you. What does this person want to and need to say to the collective? What is this collective? Twin flame. You activated my soul, yeah, to find my true purpose and destiny in life. You helped me heal in ways no one else could. Thank you for finding me again this time around. So again, definitely divinely orchestrated, divinely timed. That twin flame soulmate connection, meant to happen for better versions of yourselves, a better version of this person on your mind. They had to have this experience so they could learn this lesson. Yeah. Yeah, that, twin flame journey. Yeah, they realize that now that you activated their soul. They realize that they'll never be the same again. Gaslighting you. I've been lying to and gaslighting you. You weren't crazy. You were right. What did I say? Whatever that was, you was right. You was right. I just wasn't strong enough to admit it. They just wasn't strong enough at that time to admit that you was right. But you were right. Mm-hmm. That truth that got exposed, that you was right. I called it out. They realized now you were right. So you activated their soul, led them to what they have to be is this better version of themselves, and you were right. They realized you were right. Will you listen? There are so many things I want to say to you, but will you hear me all the way out? Will you believe me? Yeah. So this is somebody here wanting to talk, wanting to know if you would listen to them and hear them out, and whether, this apologetic, that's how I'm getting it, apologetic energy, admittal energy. Yeah, they're scared. They don't know if you would even take their apology seriously. Or anything like that. I want 3 more. Yeah, that energy is here as well. Wondering if you would even hear them out. If you did unblock them, or if they did run into you, would you believe even what they said? What else? What else does this person that the collective is in no contact with want to say, need to say to them? Please and thank you. What else? Unblock me. Listen. Unblock me. I miss you and want to connect. Please unblock me, literally or energetically, so we can speak. I have a lot to say. Will you listen? Will you believe me? I'm sorry for gaslighting you. I was lying. I admit I was lying. Would you believe it all? Yeah, this person, that energy needs you to unblock them, to even find out if you be willing to have this conversation with them. Wow. What else? Let's get 1 more, 2 more. Showing out. I'm acting like I don't care about what's happened between us, but I do. I just want to appear unbothered. So don't be fooled by whatever, you could see, whether it's social media, whether it is, this long break or distance, like they just done stop calling out. Don't be fooled. You are living in this person's mind. They think you are perfect. Your perfection, your beauty amazes me. I'm not sure how I attracted in someone like you, but I am forever grateful. See what I mean? They've never met. They'll never be the same. They've never met anyone like you. Beautiful inside and out, authentic, truthful, real. Yeah, they'll never be the same. You're mysterious. I can never seem to figure you out. Sometimes I feel like you're hiding something from me. Never really know where I stand with you. So there they are in this mysterious, still kind of questioning things of whether you would even be willing to take them serious, to listen to what they have to say. And no, they can't tell. Somebody's person can't tell because you are so unbothered. That is what I have. 1212 Heartbreak and Love Tarot. Guys, thank y'all for joining me for the general love message. Until we meet in the next one, bye.